Any other questions?
Can you tell us anything about King Jonah and why you think he can help us?
Aguilarian is said the Aguilarian was very talented. He built the wall around Al Gore. He also is rumored to be a chrono mage. Though the Thundrum Order, the Mage Order, does squash such rumors because, of course, time travel is impossible. And she kind of rolls her eyes. Obviously, that's not true. The wizard Aguilarian is have rumored to died many, many years ago. However, if that knowledge of time travel was passed, King Jonah probably has that knowledge. King Jonah has been alive for hundreds of years. Whether he is really human or not, it is not my place to say. But he has led his people for many, many eons, and when huge world altering events happen, he shows up again. Most times, his steward, who happens to be a tiefling, is in his place ruling the country. But currently, I believe Jonah is around, or that's what I heard from Beyond the Wall. But if anybody knows anything about time travel magic, he'll be your guy.
What's the name of the thiefling that used to rule instead?
Um, so there he goes by many names. I know him as Tester.
I thought as much.
It all comes full circle, doesn't it? In one way or another. So,
You know what Tester is at this time?
I have no clue. He is a skulky little thief. Very skulky. But
I cover Orange Cat's ears.
but if anything, then he will be close by King Jonah. He's usually not too far away from him at all points in time. How he extends his life, I do not know.
Just to confirm with my memory, it was King Yon and Elgaren also followed us to this time, right?
Yes, they are also here. They could be here. They could be not here. It's not first. It's not uncertain. But that is how I know King Jonah can help you. Um, other than the fact that he was very good friends with Aguilarian, he is an immense wealth of knowledge. He knows so much, and that's a lot coming from me.
Do you know why he would want to help us? Would it be based on your word alone?
It would be based on mine and Ixon's word. We have done favors for him in the past. He was very, very, very grateful for these favors, and in turn, he owes us a few. So,
Fair enough.
and also, I don't think he would like it if time travelers from the future upset the current balance of our world either. I think it would be in his best interest if he helped you, also.
Okay.
All right. But
Have you ever heard of any other Chrono Mage?
Aguilarian is currently the only one I have ever heard of. Why do you ask?
Well, we came here somehow.
Describe to me the events of how you came, if you want to.
I'm not sure we should.
That
That could actually upset a lot of the balance.
that's fine. But you were not sent here by Aguilarian. Then that means
I cannot answer that
okay,
because I don't know.
right. Well, I have some theories. Um, if there's someone who has access to time traveling magic, he is very dangerous. And is possibly in our current life either, or is still in your time. I suppose that's something you have to look into once you get back. I
Do you
wouldn't.
know of any?
Yes.
Sorry. Do you know of any other groups or individuals that would be interested in our fate? Might not, maybe not as well intentioned as you.
Fair enough. Currently, no. I usually keep to my little town to the north. I usually don't have too much of a hand in worldly events until people come to me. That's why I was so intrigued by the message written on those deck of cards. Your Alina, was it? And Alina nods. Told me some very interesting things, and in shorthand, actually. I was very surprised that you would know that, but looking at you, you remind me of somebody. And you don't have to tell me who I think you remind me of, but I have a pretty good guess because you look very similar to her. So I will keep that on the down low for now. But I don't know. Do you know who sent you back? Do you have any idea who might want you dead or alive or thrown back in time? I mean, they sent you back pretty much with no resources of your own other than the items that you carry in your packs and on your person.
Well, we know some things, but we have questions that unfortunately I don't think you can answer them. But you might be able to help us get the answers. We have a prisoner that actually could know things, but he has very powerful ward on him that will kill him if he tells it. If you would know a mage of a great power in the dispelling kind, that could actually solve a lot.
Ixen can help you. Ixen was, like I said, Ixen can help you. He was actually going to be elected to be one of the leaders of the Thunder Mage Order. He turned it down because he wanted to become a brewer. He really likes his alcohol. But if he doesn't know, she stops, she hesitates. I know what does. Ixen has a very, very powerful magic item with him. This magic item will answer any question you wish at the cost of something in return. It's always worked this way. Um, I will not speak its name right now because there might be other interested party. I mean, I looked around this room. I warded it. I proofed it before you guys got here. But it is a powerful item that can answer any question. But you have a prisoner with you. Will you allow me to look at this prisoner?
Yes, but I would not allow you to try to mind read him, because
That
that can trigger the ward.
that's fair enough. I just want to merely examine him. I will not use any magic. I will just look at him.
We can tell you beforehand that he has the appearance of a slave from Robur,
I see.
and we were attacked by a number of uh, riders on hippogriffs who looked similar
Her eyes
on our way here.
her eyes widen at this information. I see. Okay. Um well, I will look at him. I will not use any magic on him. Do you have any other information about what possibly this high magic spell ward type of deal is?
The ward in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, is it do you know what kind of wizardry? Is it it's definitely a conjuration. If it's a word, it was conjured, so it's probably conjuration, she says. Um, I'm very interested now. Could you? It'll look quite odd if you brought somebody bound and tied to, inside the bar. I could go upstairs and look at him if you want me to.
Sure. Our friends have already secured rooms, I believe.
Okay, if you leave me up there, I will go. I also ask that my apprentice, and she nods to Pip, come with me just to, maybe she has a second opinion on this. Pip, Pip is Pip, you can explain yourself. And Pip says, I was a former slave myself. I'm not from Robur, but I am from the north of Robur. I am from Didar. Didar is, it's very common knowledge, it is the way to the Underdark. Uh, Pip continues, I have similar brands to those slaves of the Elven lands, but the Drow use different magic on me, on the slaves to control us. I may be able to discern something from this individual, she says. It's like, and Lex says, yeah, I would like Pip's help as well because like she said, she used to be a former slave herself. She might be able to discern certain markings because she once she escaped from the Underdark, she immersed herself in slaves of other cultures, just to see what it was like on the surface world. Um, will you allow me to bring my apprentice with me?
Yes, I think so. I look at the rest of the party and I say, but there's one thing you should know because the effects of you talking to this person might be dangerous for you as well. It, we don't actually know who cast this spell, but we believe it might be a Rakshasa.
At that moment, you see Lek just freeze and just look at you. And how would you happen upon that kind of knowledge? You don't seem like the type that runs in circles with Rakshasa often.
It's from another wizard from the future.
Okay. I see. She kind of looks at you. I see. All right, that's fine. All right, I will go upstairs. If you guys would like to accompany me to make sure nothing I do harms your captive, then I have no problems with that.
Well, I'm interested to see what you find out anyway, so
All right.
it's not to I don't believe you. It's just I'm interested to see
All
what you
right.
find out.
So she hobbles out of her chair. Um, she she grabs the great club that was resting next to her. She puts it on her back like it was barely anything. And she starts walking out, of course, letting you guys lead her. And you walk upstairs. You knock on the door. Ironwood and Catspaw are in there with William and with Jake the slave. And she, like walks in and she points this one, right? And she points to Jacob. She walks over and she looks at him. She gives him a very hard look, and she looks behind his neck where the ward is, and she. Have you tried using detect magic already? She asks.
Yes.
Okay.
I actually cast Detect Magic now to see if she activates any other magics.
Okay. She looks at it, and then she stares at it, and you see Pip come around and stands at the bedside to get higher elevation so she can look at it too, and Pip looks at Lek, and Lek nods, and they start speaking in in Celestial again, Ramas, and they're speaking rather quickly, and okay. She stops. She looks at you. I think Ixen can dispel this. I think it's not out of the realm of possibility. What Pip what Pip said was that you're probably right that a fiend had casted this mark. It doesn't look like anything a drow or elven or even the warlords of Robur would put on a slave. It's very strange, however, that you claim that Robur slaves are are helping with somebody with this kind of knowledge. This disturbs me greatly. Um,
Why?
Warlords of Robur Robur is not an evil country. It's merely not united. They are savages. The eastern continent looks to the warlords of Robur as savages, but we are still allied with them in case a war does break. There is a treaty. If the Elven lands were to combat the Robur, the eastern continent would go to their aid. The warlords of Robur would never ally themselves with Rakshasa. That would be a breach in the treaty. We would turn our backs on them, and that wouldn't be Robur's thing. Are there any I actually you should figure that out when we get to that time. I'm just thinking that there might be something a little deeper there going on. You claimed you were attacked by slaves from Robur. Were there any masters guiding them when that happened? Did you see somebody giving commands to them? Did you see somebody tell them what to do during this attack?
Not directly, but they had two rocks with them, and then they had a lot of riders that we could not deter. Maybe there were some slave drivers, some slave masters there.
Okay. Judging from what you've told me, judging from what I'm seeing from this mark, Ixen will be able to help you. I am not as strong as I once was, but Ixen is master of the arcane. If anybody can get rid of this mark, it would be him. And if he can't get rid of this mark, Jonah might be able to, but at that point I would doubt it. But if we were dealing with Rakshasa, then this has gone to shit. Okay. All right. I'll tell you what. Let's rest for tonight. Let's think about this. I will guide you all to Wingfall tonight. I will pen a recommendation, so to speak, for you to bring to Jonah. I will let Ixen know that you are coming. I will tell you where you can find him. He will possibly get this. I will warn him that you have something of great importance that you need dispelled. And I will tell him the field of magic, and he should be able to get all his books out and be able to read upon the subject before you arrive. But I can't possibly figure out why this individual would be marked in this way. I can't figure out who would be after you. You're from the future. There are many things going on there that have no consequence here.
Do we have the necklace? We still have it, right? That the other prisoner, the brother. So
yeah,
where?
you still have Robert's necklace. It was the battery that powered the gate. Yes, you still have it.
I take it up. And, do you know what this is, or where it can come from?
She looks at it. She casts detect magic. Your detect magic casts that, and she looks at it. And she says, "This. Where did you get this? I can't answer your question until you tell me where you got this."
It is one of the components that got us here. So we didn't get it from here, but it followed us, so to say, to the portal.
She slides her gaze to the other prisoner, and just looks at it. This, I haven't seen one of these since I was 30 years old. That was about 40 years ago, she says. I've seen devices such as this before. It is a battery created. It's sort of an energy storage unit. But this is the biggest one I've seen of this magnitude.
The question is, who would have access to this kind of item?
If it's a Rakshasa, then of course he would have access to this type of problem. There are only a handful of wizards in my time I know that would be able to make this item. Even I don't even know about your timeline. The leaders of the Thundrum could potentially make an item of this magnitude. Ixen could actually craft something like this, but it would take time, it would take resources, it would take a lot. Whoever did this is investing a lot to see their plan go through. Whoever did this was banking on the fact this battery no longer has any more energy in it, unfortunately. But whoever did this really thought this whatever they were putting in motion was going to work. Because allow me to try to give you an idea of how much thought would have been put into this. This item right here would have taken half the treasury of the royal family of Leona, one of the richest countries in our world, to craft alone from components. They wanted something to happen. They wanted something to happen to you, they wanted something to happen to your party, and they were dead set on making sure that happened. Whoever wields this has a lot of power.
Yeah, I don't think we were the original target. I think the effect worked a little too good, so the portal was up a little too long.
Of course, this is something of this magnitude is merely theoretical. Like I said, I've seen things like this, but on a much smaller scale. So, unfortunately, I've seen these, but I can't quite tell you if Rakshasa are involved, they would be the prime suspect.
I have another question for you. Because this object is so powerful when it's active, would a powerful mage be able to tell if that object entered his vicinity? Because of its sheer power alone.
Yes. Whoever sent you here didn't. It doesn't look like there's any masking properties on this amulet. Whoever sent you here probably the power from this was so great. You guys are a blip on their radar. And I assume whoever made this, since it's their item, could potentially scry it.
Right.
They could possibly. You said you were attacked. This could have helped them find you.
Is it still of any value now that it's empty of its
energy? There's monetary value to it. I mean, this could easily be worth a couple hundred gold pieces. The craftsmanship and the stone alone make it worth that much. However, the value is
sold.
The value in its capability. The value is what it can do. And judging from the sheer size of this amulet, I don't think you understand that something this small could have this much power. The material it used is worth, its weight in astro diamonds to any mage alone.
Just to clarify my question so I don't misunderstand you. If a person with this kind of object that was loaded with energy entered the room that you were in, even if you weren't looking for it, you would actually notice it?
I would.
Okay. That's all I need to know.
Okay. All right. Well, that was a lot to take in, she says, for today. I'm going to go...
Well, the day is not over. We have the eggs also.
Yes. I will send a message to Skorok. I will send a message to the general of the dragon army. They have the largest concentration of metallic dragons in their employ right now. There must be a bronze dragon among them, or there must be a bronze dragon on this continent that will take the eggs off our hands. In the meantime, we are still a target with them, and I assume that those dragons you dodged for the meantime will come after us. I'm gonna send my message. I'm gonna go into my room and prepare for what may come. I suggest you do that also. I suggest we travel to Wingfall. We drop your friends there so your core group can go to Ironfast to see Ixen, and then he will help you get to Al Gore, and then you can get home. In the meantime, I can possibly take care of your dragon problem and possibly have them eliminated, even if it's just one of them. That much I can do for you.
Yeah. I have a smaller request if it was possible as well. We have some equipment in another town, and in the what is it? Southeast.
Forge.
I have forgotten the name of the town
Forge.
though.
It's
Forge.
in Dighton, isn't that? I've heard of that crafts town, she says.
Exactly, and the craftsman there is actually crafting armors and weapons to us. And I think the road there would actually cross the path of the Red Dragon, so I don't sure if that we could go there to get the equipment now.
I can have something arranged. I can send a message to your craftsman forge. I can also get a. I might have a teleport spell handy back at home. So I can give you a couple scrolls, and if you need to get to your stuff, or if you need him to get your stuff, I can have them teleported. I think I don't have too many teleportation scrolls, but I can spare a few for emergency situations because you're going to need them, and for your armor and weapons. It sounds like you're going to need those too on this journey to Al Gore.
Thank you, you've been very helpful.
Hey, I was in your shoes once. I know what it's like to be an adventurer. I know what it's like to have something of great magnitude dropped into your lap, even though you just wanted to trounce the countryside, doing it for personal reasons, not trying to save the world. It sucks. And like me, it looks like you need all the help you can get. All right. All right, I guess this is a good time to end. You guys can digest that and figure out what your next move would be after Wingfall.
I'm just curious. Was that one of a character in one of your previous campaigns?
That was my first character.
Awesome.
Awesome. I would actually like a small discussion with the players in game before we end, because otherwise I will forget what I'm about to say.
Okay, that's fine.
So when she leaves, I will take up this discussion.
Yep. You guys can go
all right.
to a room. She's gonna go to her room and do things.
Yeah. We entered this portal, and King Yona and Elgaren was with us. If we can trust this person, that I think we should, that means there was no way that these persons would actually not notice the powerful object enter the vicinity and could possibly have escaped the effect. That would mean that either they are in league with the effect, they made the portal, or they are not King Yona and Elgaren, that was someone else that disguised themselves as them. And if Lakash has a powerful mages, maybe they have that kind of power. In any way, if we would meet those for the future, we should be very careful because they are probably the enemy.
I agree. There's something very strange about King Jonah. You know, the whole thing of him living for as long as he has. Who knows how many times he's traveled back in time, and in his life. Is the King Jonah that came through the portal with us the same that is living in this past? Are there two instances of him? What's going on?
Yeah, maybe somehow this. They say that the Rakasa, when it died, it actually came back. Maybe it's just Rakasa that continues taking the appearance of King Yona and has this grand plan or something.
Yeah.
It would also be very disturbing that he has allied himself with a powerful chronomage and can actually be more than once in the same timeline.
Yep.
That could be very troublesome.
Yep.
I agree.
And I'm unsure what we're going to do with this object, if it can scry us. At least when we have this kind of meetings, it should not be with us, so we should leave it in other rooms and stuff like that.
We could use it as a diversion in the future as well.
Yeah. Anyway, it can be extremely dangerous to go to Al Gore to seek the counsel of King Yona when he gets the perfect opportunity to get rid of us, if that was his desire.
But what else? What other options do we have at this point?
That's the problem. No one seems to know any other chronomage than Algarian, so we either
You do have a Lyle did pick up a book on magical time travel theory. When you're in that when you're in the where was he? I think it was back in Shelly's lair, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
do have that just as a fallback. And he's been studying it all this time.
Yeah, and yeah, that's true. Is another thing. Otherwise, we might be able to revert the form of Orange Cat that seems to have been a very new but very powerful mage that maybe can help something. I don't know.
Meow.
He seems to have a lot of information. Like he was the one that told me of Rakasha, and I would say I'm sorry I didn't share that information with you earlier. Everything has been so hectful. I learned it literally like 2 minutes before the Griffin came.
No problem.
Meow.
So yeah, we should think about that. And there we can end.
Yay! Alright, so for fighting those goddamn spiders, and for going through this, and I like that you guys are thinking. I really enjoy that. So you took on literally 4 of them, so they are worth that much times 4. By how many of there are you again? I keep on forgetting. 1, 2.
3 of us right now.
Yeah, there's 3 of you right now. I should give some to the other guys too. 1, 2, 3.
Then it was 5, I think,
Yeah,
if
then
you're
it
gonna
was
share
5.
the other one.
So we'll take with 5. So 5, 3. Okay. This is a good session, especially for your discussion. I'll throw in some XP for that. I will give you all 500 XP even, each, for that.
All right.
Cool. How much are you guys up to? I missed the session a couple sessions ago, so I don't really know where I am.
I have 2,310.
I have the same.
So you should be around there.
Okay, cool.
All right, awesome.
I don't know why we have 10, but it was probably something important.
Probably some reason.
At some point there was 10. All right, that's awesome. All right, so I will see you guys. The next session should be on September 12th, unless you guys have anything going on.
Okay.
I will double check. It was something in September, but I don't think I have anything on Saturdays that I plan. Let's see. No, it's okay. It was on Sunday.
Okay, cool. All right, then I will see you guys in 2 weeks. And if you want to discuss anything, I'm always on private messages, anything like XP, storyline. If you want to, like I said, I do encourage, spell crafting, magical item crafting. It might take a while because you need certain materials, but I like unique objects. So if there's anything you want to make, then go for it within reason. Just run it by me first. All right. I'll see you guys.
See
I'll see you
later.
guys later.
All right,
Yeah.
see ya.
Bye.
Later.
Thanks for the session.
No problem.
Yep.